Hello. I am not capable of playing the game right now because I am the injured Poro. But I want to talk about a strategy that I think is really, really strong in the current state of the game. And that is, it's like a competitive strategy rather than a solo queue strategy. It requires a lot of coordination, it requires sticking to a game plan. But if you pull it off, I think it's incredibly powerful. So I'm going to talk you through this. So it starts out in draft. What we want to do early is early pick Caitlyn Lux. For the purposes of this, I'm going to be on red side because I think it demonstrates a lot better. It guarantees top lane counter pick, which is really important for this strategy. But so here on red side, we go 1-2 Caitlyn Lux. Then we're probably going to be picking jungle. Sometimes we can pick mid. But for the jungle, what we want is something that can play around the Caitlyn Lux. So it wants to be relatively low income. Both of those terms work, I suppose. And it wants to have a good early clear. So Jarvan's pretty good, Maokai's pretty good, Poppy's pretty good, Vi's pretty good. I think maybe Zin. I mean, his clear is not the best, but it's playable. But yeah, these sorts of champions are what I think you want to be picking. Maybe like Wukong as well. Then you can pick literally whatever in mid. Something that gets push is really good. So you can have like Ori, you can have Um, Trist sometimes you can have anything that can get push in mid. A lot of the time by here you're going to be seeing the enemy's mid pick, but sometimes you're not. You can go Azir. Azir's not bad. The mid pick's not as important. But what's really important is that you counter pick top lane. So let's say um, they've picked Aatrox, right? And then we can go like Fiora or something, or yeah, they've picked Cassante and we can go Garen. Just whatever it is, we want to have winning top lane matchup. And you'll see why that's important shortly. So if we hop into here, what we're going to do at level 1 is on red side, it's mirrored on blue side. But we're going to have jungle start here. Sorry, it's really hard to use my mouse right now because of my finger. We're going to have jungle start here, and he's going to clear this into chickens. And then he's going to clear red Krugs, and then walk back down here, pop over this blast cone, clear blue, Gromp, bot crab, see if bot's gankable, probably not. And then he's going to base, so he's going to be back here, and then he's going to come out of base, he's going to do this, which is where he started, this, and then this, and then by the time he's done these 3 camps, it's going to be just about 5 minutes, and he's going to come to the grubs on spawn. Now, while the jungler's coming here on spawn, what we want is for the top laner with winning matchup to base on this 430 wave so that he can either get a clean crash, like a 2 or 3 wave crash, and base and walk back to lane on the 430 wave, and then push that out for 5 minutes to be at the grubs, or he can base TP on the wave and then push it out and come to grubs. But we want to be on these grubs on spawn, and we want top to be enabling it by winning the matchup. That's why we drafted a winning matchup. So at this point in the game, we're playing weak side Caitlyn Lux, which feels really weird, but it doesn't matter because it's only 5 minutes in. Because what we're going to do is once we've got these grubs at 5 minutes, I believe it's a 5 minute spawn timer on them, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds with jungle covering bot side. So because we've got Caitlyn Lux in lane, and we're going to be getting a lot of gold in this next 4 minute 30 seconds, jungle's going to cover bot side, can play for these camps, and then because we've got pushing bot, can play for these camps as well. And if we force a split map, top lane's got a decent matchup, so it's probably going to be fairly easy to survive as weak side top with a winning matchup. It's easier to survive weak side with a winning matchup than it is with a losing matchup. But with the jungle hovering on bot, we're going to be playing here with Caitlyn Lux, and we're going to be hitting this tower, and we've got triple grubs, and we are going to be taking plates. Okay? We're going to get 3, 4, maybe even 5 plates if they've got a really bad bot lane matchup. We're just going to be generating massive money. And what we're going to do at 9:30, which is going to be 30 seconds before these grubs are. I mean, there's the time to kill the grubs as well, so it's probably like 45 seconds before the grubs are respawning. But at 9:30, we're going to base bot lane. and we're going to base top lane. We want to get a synchronized base where we both push the wave and crash. We're going to base both of them, and then we're going to run bot lane into top, and bot lane are going to start taking these plates. And then because we've got this incredibly strong bot lane who have taken 3, 4, 5 plates and are at their 1 item spikes already on both champions at 10 minutes, there is no way the enemy's going to be able to fight over this second grub spawn. And then we're going to get 6 grubs. And then we're going to have Caitlyn Lux hitting this tower for plates, because remember, it's only 10 minutes in the game, so the plates are still up. We're going to have Caitlyn Lux hitting this tower for plates. They're going to take all of those, and then they're going to rotate into mid, and they're going to start sieging this as well. And the whole time, the jungle is going to be taking camps that are nearby to where they are. So once the lane swap happens, the jungle's playing for these camps, and then can look to invade for these camps and play with the Caitlyn Lux. Once Caitlyn Lux are in mid, you want to be playing for. Let me reset again. Once Caitlyn Lux are in mid, you want to be playing for this camp. You can play for your buffs. You can play for wolves. You can play for enemy chickens. You can play for enemy wolves maybe. But you want to be playing like in this pocket around the mid lane. You want to be available. You want to be covering your Caitlyn Lux for the rest of the early game. And then once you get into mid game, it becomes more of a standard gameplay loop where now you're going to want to start looking to play for dragons, because the enemy's likely going to get 1 or even 2 dragons during this, depending on how soon you can rotate the Caitlyn Lux into mid lane. Depends whether you can contest the second Drake or not. But a lot of the time you're going to go down 2 dragons, but you're going to have such an overwhelming gold lead that the third dragon's going to be really easy for you to play. And yeah, I just think it's a really potent strategy that gives you power on both sides of the map, because you have top lane matchup winning and you have bot lane just absolutely fisting the entire game, and mid plays a more utility role. It's almost like a weak side mid, which is weird, but yeah, mid's not going to see the jungle that often. But whenever mid has prio, it's great because they add extra pressure onto whatever the Caitlyn Lux is doing, and then from there you play a standard game with a 3, 4, 5k gold lead at 14 minutes. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you.